I had to speak on this issue because I read an article about Larry Brown. If you guys are not familiar with Larry Brown, he used to coach the Philadelphia 76ers. And he made a comment, and I had to agree with him because I've been noticing the same thing, not only just with this organization, but within sports entertainment as a whole. He made a comment saying that, well, let me back it up a little bit. As everybody know, if you follow basketball, you know that Phil Jackson has just took an office seat with the New York Knicks. So everybody's kind of kissing his ass over there. A lot of people in LA got pissed off about that because how LA Laker fans are out here. A lot of you guys don't live in LA, but I do, and I know how they operate out here. They are diehard fans, and a lot of Laker fans are very spoiled. When they get in some type of trouble or they're not winning, they like to run to Phil Jackson. It's almost like a spoiled child that doesn't know how to stand on their own 2 feet. The minute they get in trouble, they want to run to mommy and daddy. So that's the same way Laker fans are. But he took a job out there in New York, and Larry Brown made a comment saying that when the New York Knicks win, everybody celebrates Phil Jackson. He stands up, he does a little signature wave to the crowd and everything. Everybody loves him. Everybody loving the New York Knicks. When they lose and it's an issue, everybody wants to put everything on Mike Woodson. And the reason I bring this up is because within sports entertainment as a whole and within pretty much any genre of entertainment, the brother is always to blame. When you look at hip-hop, everybody wants to blame black men or the type of suggestive themes that come out of hip-hop. And a lot of this boils down to the fact that a lot of these brothers are making money and they were able to take their situation and profit off it. You look at the Los Angeles Lakers when they had Mike Brown. They brought Dwight Howard over there. He wasn't delivering. I believe the first couple of games when they came out, which was, I believe, what was that, last year? It was last year, the year before. The first couple of games, they lost with Dwight Howard. Remind you, they had paid Dwight Howard big-time money. Like I said before, Dwight Howard is a big baby. He hasn't, I would say, matured enough for the game and really learn how to step up in crucial times and be a leader and put the team on his back. So when they had all that money that they invested into Dwight Howard, and at the same time you had Mike Brown, who was a coach, when they came out losing their first couple of games or struggling to win games, they said, oh no, we got to get rid of this brother here. Oh no, there's no way we spend all this money on Dwight Howard, which was the real problem, which was the mistake. But instead what they did is they put everything on Mike Brown. They got his ass out and replaced him with Mr. Pringles, which is doing even a worse job now with the organization. But we look at the New York Knicks and Mike Woodson. When they lose, everything's his fault. Everybody want to come down on the black man. And I understand that it's a business. I understand that if you are not producing the way the franchise wants you to produce, being it a player, being it a coach, being it someone in front office, they will replace you. I understand that. But at the same time, I think, it's a hypocrisy, and it shows the mindset and the respect that people have towards blacks who are in the entertainment field. And I have to commend Larry Brown for coming out and bringing this to everyone's attention, because I sat back and I noticed certain things with not only Mike Woodson, but with Mike Brown that was, coaching the Los Angeles Lakers. And, when we look at the overall picture of the New York Knicks right now, they're barely trying to make the playoffs right now. They'll probably come in the 8th seed, but that franchise and that team was set up to lose from the jump. They put Mike Woodson in a position where he couldn't produce. You had Stoudemire that got hurt in the beginning of the season. You had Carmelo that, he's an offensive guy. He needs to step up his defense more, but he can't carry that whole team. Then you got J.R. Smith that picks and chooses when he wants to show up. One game he might be real good, he might deliver. The next game he might be worthless. So that whole team needs to be shooken up. It needs, a lot of different personnel that needs to be changed and moved around. I know why that's part of the reason why they moved Phil Jackson over there, but You know, it just goes to show you that, you know, they like to put everything on the brother without looking at the overall situation. And, you know, that's just something I want to throw out here for everybody, you know, because it is something that we deal with not only just within sports entertainment, but in entertainment industry as a whole and in the world. You know, everybody likes to throw all the ills and everything that's going on the black community, especially on the black man. You know, there's something going on within the black community. It's blamed on the black man. There's violence in the world. Blamed on the black man. Blame the recession hitting the economy feeling. Blamed on the black man. But that's all I gotta say. You guys can give me your feedback if you want. But we gotta protect our brothers out here because we are a target. The black community as a whole is a target, but black men are an endangered species out here. And, you know, they coming at us left and right. But I'm out. Peace.